Welcome back to 10-Foot Customs, and on this episode we are going to be installing a remote kill on Andrew's Porsche. Basically just for added anti-theft with this one, and I want to try them for Ruby and Rusty to do the same thing. Just one added layer of anti-theft for these vehicles. Not that I'm overly concerned, but you know, car theft is on the rise, so anything you can do to help is a good thing. So this system we got was off of Amazon, and it looks like you install this box somewhere on the fender well, and this gets connected to the negative, and you have a couple options to connect the other side to your cable, your battery cable, so, or your power cable. So we're gonna see how this works. The instruction book leaflet, it's literally a leaflet. It's like a page. The instruction booklet's about a half page. So yeah, it looks like we just put it on there and do what we have to do. Now again, because of Andrew's battery placement, we may have to actually run a remote cable from the battery to this to make this work, but that's what we're gonna find out. And if we have to buy some cable, we can do that and then finish this up tomorrow. So let's look under the hood. Now, something in the hood. Okay, so here's his battery. I'm not quite sure where this goes. Somebody cracked the cover for it. Okay, so, oh, there's not even a tie down. Wow, we got a lot of work to do. There's no tie down on this. We're gonna have to build one to keep this battery from jumping around. I'm still thinking, though, that we may want, let's zoom in here. So what I'm thinking we might do is actually, number one, get all these hoses back where they belong. There's a lot of stuff that is in grommets that's not pushed. Actually, none of these grommets are where they belong. That's kind of weird. So we're gonna have to do some work getting all these grommets back in when it's a little bit warmer out, because right now they're pretty solid. Plus and minus cables. Is that actually what they are? So this is what we want to go to. I'm gonna get a wrench to remove that. It's probably a 10. And yeah, hold on. Okay, so there's our negative, and it runs, we've got a bolt right here that goes to a chassis ground, which is at the end of this thing, which you might or may not be able to see, and a bolt there to a chassis ground, which is fine. So if we were to take this end and cut it, leave this on the battery terminal, so put this back on the battery terminal. I think, oh, hold on. Let's look at it this way. So it looks like you can take this and put it on there. Let's let's rotate this screw bolt out of the way. Okay, so if that goes there, this would then be able to go into there and tighten down, which would be great. Put this, make sure, okay, so let's remove this out of the way for right now. This is what's going to have to turn into our this is going to have to go from our battery to this point here, which is not a big deal. I don't like how this is on here. Maybe that's better. Wish I had a second one of these things, because oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Is that big enough? That might be big enough. Okay, if we got a battery cable, I know this is red and it shouldn't be red for what I want to do with it, but if we got another battery cable, we could go from that to here, and then that would work. I just don't want to mount it. I would like to mount it as simple as possible, but not where someone can just look at it and be like, oh, look, there's a kill switch on there. Like, somewhere there would be great if I could get a Tapcon in there and Tapcon it. And then this has got to get back to the positive, so... And you can put it there, but it's awful close to where the battery is. There's a whole bunch of evap stuff underneath this cover. There's actually something could go... like, you can put it there, I guess, and it wouldn't really be noticed. If I took the battery out, I could fasten it there. But then this would have to be lengthened. So it looks like we can do this. I was just reading it, you can actually do this positive or negative depending on what. There's wiring for it in both orientations if you want to run it with breaking the positive or breaking the ground. I want to try to keep this in here, so what I might try to do is tuck the box up underneath this panel here. I think I can pull out some of this weather stripping here, and get this panel to come up a little bit more, maybe, and give me a little bit more room to try to fit this back up underneath here, because then all the wiring stays in here and it'll be a little easier to do. So let's see if I can get into that and figure that out. If we pull up this weather stripping, does it hold that thing in there? Well, this car needs a cleaning. Aha, kind of holds it in there. This is very brittle plastic. I'm going to try to be very careful with it. It's underneath the wiper motor thing there. There we go. Gives us a little bit more room to play with it. I'm not quite sure what that canister is. It's not hooked to anything. Oof, I just kind of caught that. This is very brittle. I wonder if they make a replacement piece for this, or if you just deal with them disintegrating on you. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna remove the rest of this battery so I can work around it and see if I can get this to fit. Come on. Okay. Now these leaves out. Andrew, you're gonna rot your car if you leave these leaves in here. I bet you that's what the rest of this. There's probably another piece of cover that covers this. Yeah, comes all the way over to here to keep leaves and junk out of this thing. And we need to get a battery holder. We might know where to get all that since we got parts recently from a guy who had a whole bunch of parts. Okay. I'm going to also loosen this up. Maybe it'll give us a little more room. And we need a 13 socket. Hold on. Get this bolt loose. There we go. Allow us a little bit more freedom with this cable. And then once we figure out the orientation that needs to go into, wow, this is, what is that? Oh, washer. Why are there wires going to it? Why are there... There's electrical wires going to his sprayers. Weird. Okay, anyway. So this, if we can get this box out of the way, I'm not quite sure how it's held in here. I don't know even what the box is, or this little canister is. Is it an 8? Is there a bolt behind it? I can't tell. We're gonna find out in a second though. Oh, there is. Yep. Okay. So whatever this canister is isn't hooked to anything anyway. So I assume removing it. Well, there was a little, it's probably what all this went to. This probably went to the bottom of that. Whatever this vacuum line is here, it's probably a vacuum leak. So we're going to have to look at that and see if this is some kind of a vacuum leak to his engine. If it is, we will have to block it off. Yeah, oh well. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, I think we found a vacuum line. I think we found a vacuum line diagram, and I don't think this did anything, so we weren't, I think we saw this before, and it wasn't anything super important for, as long as it's not trying to pass E-check, which it's not. Okay, so now I have a spot here that I might be able to install that right there, which would be fantastic. So I need to get a bolt that will allow that to go right there. Let me see if I can find a bolt and a nut. Go. Too bad it can't go in like that, but it can't. Yeah. One's a 10, one's an 11. Where I have it is right there. Here's the bracket that canister was sitting on. I just used a bolt hole there. this will be able to, I will hopefully be able to get this tucked up there. Should have just enough to do that. And then we'll make a fitting from this side to come back to the main. And this will have plenty of room to bolt in with all these guys and do that. So I need to go get a short section of black with hopefully one of these already on it, because that'll make it a lot easier. So let's go see if I can find one of those. Stopped up at the parts store and picked up a 10-inch cable. And I'm hoping, even though this hole's gonna be a little large, that it'll still work on that switch, which is basically just a gigantic relay. And then I won't have to even change anything. This will just bolt right up. The hole may be a little bit not tight, but the hole may be a little bit off, but I think it's going to still work good enough. So yeah, we'll get that. So I was just looking at the ring terminal they give you in the kit compared to the ring terminal that's on here, and there is maybe 2 millimeters of total difference, and this is still like oversized for the pull on there, so I'm thinking it's not going to make that big of a difference. So I'm just going to use this as it is, and we're going to find out what happens. Hopefully it'll be just fine. This terminal is going to have to come, where is that? Okay. This terminal is going to have to come this way, and I'm concerned that it'll just touch here over time of vibration, and that it's not going to, you can see the slop on it. That over time it'll just make the contact anyway, and then it'll kind of make the whole thing a moot point. So I'm going to put like a double layer of heat shrink on this end to try to give it some insulation from that over time. So let me go do that, and we'll be good. I currently do not have shrink tubing large enough to fit this, so the electrical tape will have to work for now. I'll shrink tube it later. This plastic is brittle and sharp, and I keep wanting to break that piece off. Not on purpose, it just... Let's see, can I get a little more twist into this thing and get it up out of the way a little bit more? Kind of like that. That might work. So currently we have that cable running there. This side's tucked up underneath. It's not touching anything, so that's good. And those aren't touching anything, so those two aren't touching anything. That's good. One of those is positive. This goes to a positive side, negative. So, and then let's put our battery in. Hope I bought a long enough cable for this. Oh, I think so. Oh, that's perfect. That's gonna go there. I can turn it. I should be able to turn it enough anyway. Ground is tight. Positive is not yet, because I want to hook up that other wire. So I want to hook this. And is it going to be a 10 or some weird size? 10. Yeah, these ring terminals are just large for what I'm doing. It's okay. Okay. We're going to need to put something in front of this battery so that it doesn't slide forward and snap that off, but if we get a battery strap for it, it won't make a difference anyway. In theory, this is wired in. With this kit, you get these two remotes. Oh, click on, off, on, off. So, let me pick up my tools really quick, and we'll see. My biggest concern is that cable from the battery to the relay, if it's going to be big enough to carry current to start the car. Weather stripping back down. Let's see what happens? I've got the keys right here. We'll put the fob on there. There we go. It's off. There should be no power in the car. Let's find out. Oh, okay. No, car is completely dead currently. Hit the on, clicked it on, and the car's got power. Will it start is the bigger question. Without a problem. So, yeah, looks like the battery is charging, which is good. So all that's still hooked up. She's cold. Hopefully the idle will stabilize here shortly. We're gonna turn the key off. Car is off, and hit the off button. Relay turns off, and we've got nothing. This is yeah. Okay, so that's working fantastically. For the $34 you spent, I think they're a fantastic product for what they do. That little added security system for theft, it may or may not work, but at least having something is better than nothing in my opinion. The only thing that may change, and it wouldn't matter for Ruby and Rusty for this kill, this is a fuel-injected Porsche, and there is an ECU in here. And I'm not quite sure how happy the ECU is going to be with being turned on and off a lot. It's not designed to have that. It's designed to have a constant power. So what I might have to do, and probably will do, is get a wiring diagram, track down where the ground wire is for the ECU, and put a permanent ground to the battery just for the ECU, so the ECU would always have its memory and always have power like normal, and then just the rest of the car would be powered down with the kill switch. So that'll probably be something I'll do later, but for right now, it seems to work really well. I'm happy with it. We need to get that battery fastened down. I didn't realize the battery was just floating in there. So with that, we will end this episode, and I want to thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope everybody has a great week.